Welcome back to another episode of Friends Unfiltered. If you don't know me by now, what are you doing?
Just kidding.
I'm your host, Bill, and I have a very special guest here with me today. A very dear friend, and some will call a fashion icon.
I'm Bunmi Kalejai. Yeah. Basically, yeah, mostly most people just know me by my name. People also know me as I have named myself the Great Bunmi because I'm conceited like that.
Okay.
And I'm multifaceted. I'm interested in a lot of things.
Mhm.
Hence, I don't know, maybe that's why I was granted the honor
Of being
of
here.
being here.
Definitely. I
Yeah.
mean, when you guys, okay, the topic should already be on display, so you already have an idea of what we're talking about today. I'm good.
Mhm.
See, this whole video setting thing, we're still working on it, but I hope you're impressed with the progress. So today we're going to be talking about career crossroads and
Mm,
navigating the challenges that we face when deciding what feels right for us.
interesting.
Okay, so my first question to you is what do you think career crossroad or what do you think a career crossroad is?
I don't know. I think the first thing that comes to my mind is, or that comes to mind is, when you're like at a T junction.
Yeah.
Yes, basically when I think of crossroads. So it's like when you're just like conflicted as to what exactly you want to do with your life, with your career, because a career is like a long span of
Yeah.
exactly. It's not just like a one-time job. So it's like what do you want to do? Because it takes up it's a huge part of your life and
Mm-hmm.
it's something that you should enjoy doing. Hence why a lot of people tend to be conflicted.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
that makes a lot of
Oh
sense.
God.
Is that point in your life where you just question yourself like
Yeah,
am
like
I
what am I
doing
really
am I
doing?
doing the right
Am I doing
thing?
the right thing?
So do you think there's any point where that is very important? Or you think you can be at a career crossroad any time in your life? Or the earlier
Yes.
the better?
I guess some would say the earlier the better, but like I don't know. I just feel like how everybody. Oh, like what's your purpose? That is
Mm-hmm.
overrated. Like it's okay for you to float. I'm being very serious.
Okay.
Like it's not that bad for you to
Mm-hmm.
like not know your purpose. So yeah, it can happen at any point in your life. Doesn't matter. Just yeah, it's necessary. It happens. Yeah.
Okay, so do you have any go-to tips on when you get to that crossroad? What are the things that? Oh, let me ask you first. Have you been at that crossroad yet?
I'm still on the like I'm perpetually at the crossroads.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes, and yeah, I think it's an inward evaluation. Like you just have to like take a look at yourself.
Self-reflection.
Self reflection really, and like till tomorrow. Hence why I say that like knowing your purpose is overrated because I really don't know. Like I know, but like you don't have to be any one thing. Do you get?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
And like it's not an offense.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think for me, being
Mhm.
very talented, having different, yeah, I am. I mean,
Mm,
being talented and especially with my hands, like handcraft come to me very easily. Like I
brilliant.
crochet,
Yeah.
what's it called? Paper craft, anything hands on. I know how to make
Mm.
shoes. So, I know.
Ah!
So like so many things. And even besides that, I
Mm.
write
Yeah, I'm aware.
I like to act too. I deceive myself
Mm.
that I can sing and dance, but like let's not talk about that. But there are so many things, and then there's profession. I'm
Mm.
studying anatomy now with the I want to be a therapist, like this type of setting,
Yeah.
but I'll be getting paid, not just talk to me for
Mm.
free.
Mm.
Very soon my time will be expensive, but that's besides the point. So yeah, like I have all of this going on and
Mhm.
it's just hard for me, like because you see you have to specialize in something
Yes.
if you're multi-talented, you have to pick
True.
one and be the
True.
best at that. And I actually feel that's very true. It will
Mm.
help. But at the same time, spreading your legs everywhere is also not a bad thing
Thing.
because someone can be thinking, okay, I need a writer. Someone can think of me, okay, he has done spoken word before. Da, 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 da. I can come to mind if it's like a summer school. So, okay, he does craft. Can you
Yeah.
come? Stuff like that. So
True.
like so many things. So I'm at that point where myself, I'm like, what am I doing? I know where like my ideal dream. I have that. Like I
Mm.
have that set.
Better than a lot of people.
I have that set on already, but
Mhm.
I'm still trying. Like till then, because a lot of time will have to pass, I have to go through series of certifications and all that. But until then, what am I going to be doing to keep my creative juice
What, you're
flowing?
already doing something.
The thing is, it's just never enough for me. Do you
Mm,
understand? Like,
yeah.
I can be doing so much to some people, and to me, it's like, oh my gosh, you have so much more. And
That
that's
you,
another thing about knowing how to do so many things. Is
yeah.
like, have
It
to
feels
just
like you're never doing enough sometimes.
exactly,
Mm,
exactly. That's why sometimes I can envy someone that maybe they have just a talent and like they're all out on that because that's like their one way
yeah.
jail free
Ticket.
card.
Yeah.
Exactly. So they put all their energy into that, they keep growing. I'm like, wow, and like getting better. And then me, I'm like, which one should I improve on this summer? Because that was another thing I was facing this
Yeah.
summer. Like, okay, which of these things I want to work on? I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so many. And now I want to get into more. Like, I'm
Mm,
very greedy and ambitious. I think it's not
so,
a bad thing. Okay,
yes.
so law, my next question.
Mm.
That's another thing with this career thing. Even before you get to the crossroad, the
Yes.
pressure
It's a
that
lot.
we face.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say as Nigerian children, but especially that, if I may, because parents are
Relentless.
on your neck. If it's not medicine or law or architecture or something techie, what are you doing with your life? I mean, you
Mm-hmm.
want to go to school and study what? No way. So law for you, was it like, is it something you're interested in or you were pushed?
I mean, right now, okay, so initially, yeah, I
Okay.
wanted to. Oh, this is my life. Okay, so initially, I wanted to like be a pediatrician, yeah,
Same. I'm not saying
so
something about that, but go
because
on.
like there was this very cute children's hospital like close to where I used to live, like in the
Mm-hmm.
past. It was so beautiful outreach. Sure, so I decided, and like my school then, I don't know if the young kids, I'm a young kid, I don't know if like they still do that these days. Like you do
Mm-hmm.
all the courses in SS1, da da da. So like as the genius that I am, I was passing everything. Everybody went, when we come here, when we come here. I was like, no. And then I was now in press club and I was president
Okay.
of press club. Yes, I was having a field time. I used to write for like the school magazine, do newsletters, and that followed me like all my life.
I
I just
mean, you are
recently
the
stopped. I
PRO.
mean, I just recently stopped. But like, yeah, I was like, okay, I want to do journalism. I want to do English literature, da 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 da. And I still wanted to do pediatrics. And my mommy was like, when everybody's giving their 2 cents that nobody asked for. Because I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I don't know, maybe I would be like a writer now, like I don't know, like a Kweke, a Mezi, Lohab.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just feel like my life would be so much more different. But
Mm-hmm.
everybody was like, oh, like, don't listen to people, please. I don't mind it, Sha. I actually don't mind law. It's just it's there because law is also interesting. Depending on it's very. I think that's the beautiful part about it. And they kind of had the
Mm-hmm.
points that like if you study law, you can always write. You can always in law. There's IP. There's
Yeah.
entertainment. There's anything. There's like family law. Anything you want to do. Basically, there's health. And so here I am. Here, I'm here. I mean, let me not be ungrateful, right? Because I'm
Mm-hmm.
actually not a terrible law student. I can't lie. I'm
Yeah.
actually good. I'm quite a genius. I'm sorry. I'm genuinely, but like, yeah, right now, I don't know. I think I'm trying to get into like end law and like fashion law, just something out of the box that would
Mm-hmm.
like make me happy. Do you get? And I'm trying to like so many interests. I told you, I'm trying to take my
Yeah.
writing. I'm going to. I mean, I don't have anything doing this year apart from
Mm-hmm.
like my final year stuff.
Which is a lot.
Which is a lot,
A
right?
lot.
Which is a lot, but I'm trying to like get back into my writing bag and
Okay.
maybe I don't know fulfill my journalist dreams,
Yeah.
perhaps.
Okay, so the thing I wanted to say when you mentioned pediatrics is
Mm,
that's something I wanted to do. But the thing with that is I wanted to do it because I like taking care of people.
mm.
But medicine is not the only way you can take care of people. Like, I'm being
Mm,
very real. Like,
mm.
sometimes we know what we want to do, we just don't know what exactly would give us that fulfillment in doing that.
Yeah,
And that's why exploring
it's
is
very
very key.
important.
Because, okay, yeah, I want to help people, I love kids and all. And then, obviously, I applied for medicine the
Mm-hmm.
first time. They gave me zoology in a completely different school. I was
Mm.
doing that actually. Then I don't even I can't remember what happened because of the strike and everything. I started again at
Yeah,
that
I
school.
know of this story.
And I'm
Ah.
doing anatomy now. They didn't give me medicine.
Uh-huh.
And I'm so happy that they did not, because
Mm.
now I'm doing a pre-med. Anatomy is a pre-med. And, you get to dissect from 200 level,
Yes.
harvesting hearts,
Uh,
liver, and all that.
mm.
And I'm like, ugh. This was thrilling, yeah, exciting, because I like doing new things, but it's not something I want to do long term. And I know, okay, after med school, I can specialize in the
Yes.
pediatrics that I want, but why am I going through all of that? And
Mm.
it just didn't feel worth it anymore. And I was actually
Yeah.
glad I didn't get it, because if I would have felt so stuck, like
I
I
know
don't I
you.
don't want to do this anymore, and I don't
Yes.
even know what I would have done, because I'm that kind of person that I might actually drop out and start again,
In
because I'd rather or switch, because we can do that.
yeah.
But I'm just so, God will just pick what we want. God will just have other plans,
Uh-huh.
and
Mm.
I'm just super grateful I didn't get medicine, because now I want to become like a licensed therapist and all. I'm still going to be helping people, but it's something
Yes.
that I'm more comfortable with. It's something
And
I'm
in
more passionate
control of,
about.
yes.
Exactly, control. I'm talking to people. I
Mm.
have my medicine is never ending. Like, not no profession really has an end. You have to keep learning, getting
Yeah.
more certification and
But
all
it's
that. But
actually never ending
but
though.
I would feel more fulfilled doing
Yeah.
this. Like, this way we're talking now is this
Yeah.
can be
It's
my life. Like, I mean, if I'm making money talking to people, and I already do that for free, like it's
mm,
something I enjoyed when I talk
true.
to people, strangers, friends, and a lot of people call me their therapists. I mean,
I mean,
so
yeah.
we're already on that track, and I'm so passionate about raising awareness for mental health and all that. So psychology, that's my jam. And even
Mm,
when I got to Babcock and I found out that psychology is actually what is more inclined to what I want to do, I actually wanted to switch, but switch to where we don't have that. And
you
that's another thing
don't.
with the educational system here. There's not enough variety. Maybe
Mm,
except in federal universities that are ridiculous with all the things that
yeah.
happen in between. There's no enough here. And some schools will have it, but they're not rated like that. So you
Yeah.
never even know. And
Mm,
man, I don't even know. Sometimes you have to I won't say reduce your standard, but don't if there's something you want that is
mm.
not where you want to be, you have to find some
So,
sort of
yeah.
compromise. Do you understand? So if you're listening and what you're doing now, please don't be afraid to start. Okay, if you're in an African home, I know why you're afraid, but it's going to be worth it, honestly. I feel
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be worth it for you to just start again, and then you just feel so much more fulfilled with what you're doing. So,
Word, word. Deep. And that's so sick. Harvesting hearts.
yeah, I know.
I want to.
You want to what?
Yeah.
And a couple of my classmates actually left anatomy when we did that, because like
They
you know,
couldn't stand it.
I can't. That's why some of you that God help me, let me not say the wrong things. But some people want to study medicine, yeah,
Mm.
and they're afraid of blood. Like, hello, are you sure you are not
That's another
brainwashed?
reason why I just forgot about it altogether.
Like, medicine is not all blood. Yes, that's true, but you cannot escape
Mm.
that part. You might, if you see it as worth it to go through all that and then specialize later, then fine. But if you know that this is no like surgery, blah blah blah, is not
It's
your
not
thing,
yours.
then maybe you're not actually on the right path. And that's one thing that I really found about with parents, because you push these people and then they're so
You have
depressed.
nightmares.
And then from nursery school, you're dressing them up as doctors, you're dressing them up
Standard
as
living.
lawyers. Do you understand?
Standard living.
And they don't even know whether this is what they want, but
Yeah.
they've heard you say to them so many times. It's like it's another type of it's brainwashing. Now what I'll just call
Yes.
it that,
They've been
because
conditioned
exactly
mentally.
your mind is so fragile at that point. So whatever they are feeding you, you're bound to take it.
Mm-hmm.
I went to my younger brother's graduation the other day, and
Mm.
I saw these kids like they were having this presentation. They were dressed as all
Oh,
the
I saw it
big
on your what's it called?
lockets, all the
Locket.
big things, and I'm like, poor kids. If who will tell you now, no problem. Like parents need to really chill out and let
Yes.
us find these things for
On your
ourselves. You can let
own.
us know that, okay, this is a doctor does this. How do you feel about that? But let me know other options too. Don't just this is what I think there's money in.
Mm-hmm.
Like some people, it's not always about money, and even if money is very key, because some of us like a certain lifestyle.
Mm. Well, sure, to be fair, because my mom actually even tried to discourage me
Mm-hmm.
from reading law. It's just that
Oh,
I was already in arts class. Like there was no other
there was
profession.
no going back.
But she did because she said she knew of one lawyer in her village. I used to take 2K for brief as per like don't even want to elaborate. But like yeah, the lawyers are broke and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like, okay, but since you're an art student now,
Yeah.
I mean Ah.
That's another thing, Seth. Because I remember when I found out that psychology is more inclined with what I want to do,
Mm-hmm.
and I was making inquiries. I found out that it's a social science.
Jeez.
So that means I would have had to be in an art
Class.
class to. So there was no, except I'll go all the way back. And
Mm.
Nigerian schools, the educational system needs to do so much
Much
more,
better.
much better, because you need to, like, the way you have career days, grad class, when you're
Mm-hmm.
graduating, you have career
Yes.
week, whatever. We should have that more often, like
In
from
second from the
primary
beginning.
school. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
have all these professionals lined up, let them like
They do
explain.
that in other countries.
Hello, where are we?
Uh,
Explain what these things are, the pros, the cons, what
what you're really
interests do you
getting
have that
into.
might mean you're leaning towards something like this, from primary school. And then in secondary school, you do it again. So, because people could change their minds,
Mm-hmm.
you evaluate these things and then you do it again. Then, okay, they're sure that this is still what I want. Because
Mm.
and then in university, you do it again. Like it should be
It should be
frequent. Do you understand? It
continuous,
should be
yeah.
continuous. Not that you do it once in
Mm.
university when my life is already decided more or less. Then
Mm.
you tell and then what do you want to happen that the week of my the week of my graduation, I'm realizing that this is not what I'm meant to be doing. Come on, like there's no way.
Mm.
So a lot of people actually feel stuck and they just graduate like that and then they go on to do something completely different.
Different.
And
Oh my
people,
god.
parents will say, or elders, millennials, whatever, will say no knowledge is wasted. But I really don't,
Knowledge is wasted.
I
Don't
don't
waste my
believe that.
time.
Like
Do you
exactly,
get?
there's time is money, time is everything. You can't be
Mm.
wasting my time in the name of no knowledge is wasted. Time is wasted,
Mm-hmm.
and this knowledge might never come to fruition. Like I might never need these things. I see these TikToks like algebra, how we never
Mm.
use
Very
algebra.
useless.
We never use
Very,
algebra
very
in our
useless.
day-to-day lives. That is an example, but
Mhm.
there's so many other things like GDS. Some gosh,
Do you know that's my biggest pet peeve, yo? Like I genuinely cannot. Do you know how? Con- shit. Do you know?
GDS. I
God.
really don't know whose idea that was. That you have
Because I was
general
only doing
courses.
one law course, like
Mm-hmm.
through 100 level, and look at the wasted time.
Wasted time.
There's no reason law should be 5 years. There's no reason any course like they
The
should
thing
get
is,
rid of that thing.
even if it's 5 years, let it be worth it. Let us
Let's
specialize
in
deeply. You know that
other things. Let's go deeper.
the entire first year, for example, in anatomy, yeah, first year you're doing chemistry, biology, like these things. Okay, you might need, but like, why are you taking me back to the basics? And then for some people, you're just reminding them that their results is not their own. Their work results is not their results, and then they have to learn it all over
Ah,
again. Like
mm,
it's not necessary. This some of these GDS like it might never come in handy.
especially
So
the Christian ones.
Mm. Okay, I'm not going to make any comment on that, but gee, some of them are just not necessary.
Mm,
Like, if okay, general courses here, dig deeper to the
mm-hmm.
ones that would actually help you in your
Yeah,
line of study. Don't be teaching me use of library.
a
Like,
Greek.
use of library for who? What am I
No
meant to
use of
learn?
library actually.
I
I
liked
used
the
to need
course. I mean,
that.
I got an A and everything, but
Uh,
I really don't see how that would help me. I'm not the biggest reader.
mm-hmm.
I should be able to have like what are they called? Is it collectives when you get to choose your courses or whatever.
Oh,
We should
that
have yeah, we
thing.
should have more control electives. We should
Electives.
have more control over what we're learning because
Mm-hmm.
I know even from secondary school, people like my friends abroad and family, they
Mm-hmm.
tell me that they get to pick their
Yeah.
courses. I'm like, what kind of freedom
Anything
is
is
that?
that.
Control, like you choose what you want to nourish. It's still knowledge, but like it's intentional.
Mm-hmm.
Or you just any course that they've lined in the syllabus is it doesn't make any sense and
Hmm.
it causes more confusion and then you're
Yeah.
just overwhelmed and wasting time. You need to do better. Oh, I took another poll on my Instagram story,
Mm-hmm.
so I think I want to be doing that more often to give
Okay.
my audience a feel that they're more involved in the creative process. So like for them to ask questions if they have any, and
Okay.
we already answered some of them. I don't want to put the name. Like, let's remain
Yeah.
anonymous. I'll just infuse it in, like I've already been doing. Let me go through my ratchet notes.
This wine is good stuff.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I try. We've spoken on self reflection
Mm-hmm.
because you need to take your time who you are as a person, what you like, your strengths, your weaknesses, the things that your pet peeves too, like things that
Mm-hmm.
you can't
Stand.
stand, the
Can't.
things you can't do without, and all that, and also
True.
self-discovery. Like they're still intertwined. And I've done an episode on self-discovery.
I
So if you're
listen.
listening, you need to go and check that episode out, because I mean, it also helps when you know yourself, so you could pick your career. What's your say on finding your calling? I mean, you already said purpose and all that, but are they
Yes.
the same thing to you?
A little bit, yes. Yes. Because you know how it's like this thing called me or like God called me. Like your calling is like your destiny, like
Mm-hmm.
preordained. And I feel like purpose is more intentional. Do you get?
Mm-hmm.
But like tit for tat is the same
Yeah.
difference. Finding your calling. I mean, for people that have found their calling, great, good for you. But like for the rest of us, I mean, like my point is that there's no pressure. Like, don't beat yourself too hard about it. If
Mm-hmm.
you're young, I don't know whether I think ageism is rampant now.
Mm.
Like you have time. Like a lot of you are teenagers in your early 20s, or like relax if you have not like literally calm down if you have not
Mm-hmm.
found your calling. Yeah, you will find it eventually, and even if you don't, like it's okay. That may be like from a privileged point of view, but like sometimes it's okay to float. So far, like you're not being
Mm-hmm.
useless.
Oops.
Not like useless. Okay, language. So far, you're doing your best. Did you get
Mm-hmm.
like just calm down and like don't compare yourself to others
Yeah,
at
that's
all.
very
Like
key.
never.
I'm also a
We're
victim
all
of that. Like,
really.
yeah, sometimes I actually compare myself. And I almost had a meltdown like 3 weeks ago, just getting overwhelmed with comparing myself to other creators or
So
professions in
that's
like,
interesting.
and I'm like, me, Bill, you, therapist, see you, all the things you've been saying, you're
Mm.
like, but it was bad. Like I was overthinking it, and I was getting so, I think I even cried. Like it was that bad. I was like, oh my gosh. And then I just had to start. You know, when you speak to people
Mhm.
and you speak to yourself,
Mhm.
you have that reservoir. And then when you need it, it just
Yeah.
comes back to
Mhm.
you. And I just thank God for that. Was what happened to me that saved me. That I started hearing my voice and like things I've told people, things I've said to myself, and they just started coming back. And I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
just
you're
deep
good.
breath. You're
Yeah.
good. You're doing okay. You're doing your best. Don't stress it. And finding your calling, it takes patience.
It takes
It
time.
takes like you need to be patient with yourself, and you need to
Yes.
experiment. Like
And you
you will
need
not
to
find
try
your,
you.
you won't find your calling by just going 4 years, 5 years in school and
Exactly.
thinking
Exactly.
one job will be your, no. Like that is not
Exactly. You
calling.
said
Like
it better.
that is so niched. Like your calling can be so widespread, and you will not know that if you just stay one lane.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's day your day, but this one, please enter other people's day, try other lanes,
Yeah. And
experiment,
do your
because
research and
you like exactly experiments, research. When you see professionals, okay, I think let me before I jump into, let me ask you first, as the girl in the experts, what are some
um,
tips you'd share if you find yourself at crossroads? No, you're still in one, like you said, but like, what are the things you're
yes.
doing that are helping you get out of it?
Just okay. So recently I made like a long list of like things I like, things that make me happy. Do you
Okay.
get? Which is like very important because like for something that you plan to make your career, I feel like you should
Be
like it.
happy.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you should be happy while doing it. And like I just wrote like random things that make me happy. And
Mm-hmm.
like they're very different, very do you get? But like that's a starting point. Like
Yeah.
just knowing that basically, knowing what you like.
Mm-hmm.
And then just like also like examining what skills you have. You know how people say that, oh, like God given talent. I mean, maybe some people are born naturally talented.
That is I.
But like you can also, I don't know what you can get anything. You can be, I don't know, you can just if you
Acquire the
practice
talent.
exactly, you can acquire the talent. I'm very like what is yours? Like what are your skills? What's your skill set? Basically, it's very, very important. Like what
Mm-hmm.
can you do? And then if you're naturally talented, I mean, what are your talents? And yes, just talking to people, oh my God,
Networking.
networking, talking to people, network, very, very, very important. Like, never be afraid to ask. Like,
Yeah.
oh, like I'm trying to like get into this thing. I want to get into like this. Like, what do you think I should do? Do you
Speak
get
with
like speak to your friends?
professionals.
Because some of your friends don't undermine. don't like, even if they're just like budding,
Yeah.
do you get, speak to
You-
professionals as well. Like
mhm.
always reach out, ask for help. Like there are people around you. Just like don't close yourself off. And what other advice? I don't know. It's just exactly we said self
Okay, let me
reflection.
expand on some
Yeah,
of the ones you said. Okay,
yes.
so the writing your things down, like a vision board, for
Like a
instance.
vision
Have a
board.
vision board. I've been sleeping on that.
Hmm.
I have it in my head,
I
but it's
have one.
always
No.
important to put it to writing.
Exactly.
Like, see me with my notes. I'm a writer, but besides that, I'm always in my. If the last episode, you would see that I was also writing. Like, I'm always writing anything that, 'cause ideas can come
Mm-hmm.
anytime. Like, inspiration could just slap me in the face at random.
Exactly.
So if it's not like traditional writing, have your
Your
notes.
notes
I don't
app.
play my notes. See, if they steal my phone, what will pay me the most is
Is
losing
my
my notes because some of my pictures are backed up. But even besides that, my notes, no, 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 no. That is
mm-hmm.
gold to me
Mm-hmm.
because that's where I pour my
Real.
heart out. So put it to writing, look at it, read it like daily. Have your rituals. Do you understand? Like these
Yes.
things are. Don't get too spiritual. When I said ritual, like I actually do these things because they help.
Mm-hmm.
And networking, people go to LinkedIn and then they go there for the wrong things because you're
Real.
you're looking at
Real.
what other people are doing and then you're getting overwhelmed with, oh my gosh, she's 20, she has done that. See, her LinkedIn is stacked, she has so connections. But start in your own time, your own pace. Take your time. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
Like LinkedIn is a very good place for networking. You just need to know how to use it and stop waiting for people to spoon feed everything to you. Like take your
Exactly. Go and
time
look for.
and research. Like if you're opportune to be in the space with any professional, ask questions. Like have a professional interview for free. Like no one is going. People do that. You can like book them, but this person is in your
Is
space. Like don't
around
sleep.
you.
Like, when I saw Nancy Sime that TEDx
Yeah.
talk, if not for the bodyguard that was doing the most, I
Mm.
wanted to drag her to see. Can I have like a quick 5 minutes? Just, I have a lot of. I did ask her some things that was, and she answered, and I was so satisfied with the
Mm.
answer she gave. Do you understand? So any
Mm-hmm.
opportunity you have, so people will go to conference, Kini, and they ask for questions, and you're mute. You're mute with all the uncertainty. You need to ask questions.
Yeah.
Take advantage of them. I mean, sometimes being an opportunist is not a terrible thing. We all are to an extent. They're just like different levels to
Levels
it.
and tears.
But I know that if I'm in any space, I'm going to milk the hell out of it. Not people. I don't take people for granted. But any opportunity, yeah.
Yeah.
Like for example, how do I like to put myself out there? Like growing up, leadership roles came to me naturally because of my build. People would just assume that he
Mm.
can lead, blah blah blah, and it worked. I mean, head boy, class
Mm.
captain, all of that,
Same,
and
same.
then coming to university, doing the same
Same
things
thing.
from course rep to busa. I always make sure that if there's any way I could take advantage of these things, I will. Like from is it talking to the vice chancellor, if I can, I will definitely. Sometimes because I stroll in school, I
Mm.
stroll
A lot.
in school, and sometimes he
Yeah.
does the same. And every time I see him, I always have something to say. Like,
Mm.
sorry, sir, do you have a moment? And then I ask a question and I learn. So always take advantage of that. Put yourself out there. You can't be having all these questions in your head and there's no growth. There won't be growth if you're not asking the right questions, if you're not researching. Time is just going.
Mm-hmm.
So in a lot of ways, we do this to ourselves. Like the society can do better, but when you find yourself in this position, stop patronizing yourself with
Mm.
what has and like try to see what can be. Yeah, skills. Like
Mm-hmm.
okay, you already said that
Yeah.
if you know you don't have
If
talent,
you don't have talent,
go and
go
learn a
and learn it. Do
skill.
you get go and learn a
Go and
skill?
learn a skill
Practice.
because YouTube is your friend, honestly. Like and it's free. If people
Mhm.
go, they buy courses, and I'm
I'm
like,
people.
no, sometimes I like how professional it is. Like some
Mm-hmm.
of these settings, obviously, when you're paying, there's so much more value. You get to
Yes, and you're more
ask.
serious.
When you put
Don't
money,
put
you're
money
going
in.
to like me now, the gym. When I pay for that subscription, I must go. What? And what I do, besides the point is, for example, let's say subscription is 20K
Mm.
and a day, it's always cheaper when you go higher, like
Yeah.
monthly is
Mm.
always. cheaper than weekly, blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
yeah.
So if I do, let's say 20k and a day is 2k,
Mm.
I'll calculate it. Okay, I pay 20k. Let's say 2k daily. I mean, I must go at least 10 days to maximize my money. Like
Yeah,
that's the mentality
yeah.
I have. So, anyways, that's just besides the point. And okay, another question that was asked from the poll was how to deal with emotional roller coasters.
Ah,
So that question is to you.
you weep.
Crying is good.
You cry.
Crying is good.
Like sometimes you just have to let it out, honestly.
Scream too. Scream
And oh
therapy.
my god, yes, and screaming.
Scream.
Like don't let people look. Like just go to a place that you know, like it's
Mm-hmm.
deserted. If you're on Peru, the basketball court, I don't know.
Mm.
Yeah,
Main
and like
campus, go to stadium.
just let it out.
Yeah.
Just let it out. And yeah, what else? I journal a lot. Like I have a pink journal. I carry it everywhere. Very important. And like just how else? Talking to people if that's your thing. But like I do not like to like talk to people like immediately, like at the height of the emotions, because
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I'm just like hyper vulnerable and
Yeah.
like
You don't want to
yeah, I'm not
overshare.
trying to overshare exactly. So but like later on, just talking to people because it's a lot to like
Mm.
deal with on your own. And yeah, just like pouring all of that. Like when you're done with all of that, I don't know, just doing things that like make you happy, taking ice cream, doing your makeup,
Self care,
self care, doing your skincare, all of that, taking a walk, clearing your head.
yoga,
Yeah.
meditation.
Oh my god, I've been into yoga recently actually.
Okay, so I
Very
think for
recommend.
me, something like the things I do when
Mm-hmm.
I'm, getting overwhelmed, I just run back to my hands-on crafts. Like I can crochet
Mm.
and maybe listen to some other podcast and yeah, listen to my podcast. Anytime you're feeling down, just come back. Come back. Oh, I have merch on if you didn't notice. Anyways,
Mm-hmm.
I do like I write, like you said, journal, very, very key. Just pour your heart out. It works
Doesn't
magic.
even see, you can be aggressive. See, your journal doesn't have to be fine art. See,
Please say that
let me
again. Say that again to the
like
to the fine
your
art
journal
girlies.
does not have to be fine art. Like literally, you can call names. Like if like you can literally vent, and
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to be so.
This is my therapist
It
here.
like just write out all the things. However, like yeah, you can be very. If you see my journal, God, that's all I can even say.
Like you said, it is
What
not something that you
is
want to always deal with on your own. So
exactly?
you need to surround yourself with loving people, like people you can confide in. And the way to do that, if you're having difficulties, is I feel you attract what you are, you attract what you give to the world. So
Mm,
if you want to be surrounded by loving people, you need to be a
be a
loving
loving
person.
person.
Like besides your village people, every other thing that you attract is actually what you give out. You understand? I just feel it's almost like karma
Mm,
you get. So
mm-hmm.
it's like what you give out is what you get. So
True.
surround yourself with people that are loving, people that listen, because you can have a lot
Yes.
of friends that just like to talk. They like to just vent. They're never listening. You don't need that. You're not their therapist,
Mm-hmm.
And even if your friends talk, that's okay. You can be their own
Yeah.
listening ear,
Yeah.
but you need your own. Like it's always important to have your own. Like sometimes people ask me that, do you deal with so many people? They're like their own shoulder.
Mm.
Who is
Who's your
yours?
shoulder?
Like, and I have those people, and I'm grateful for them. You will not know them,
Mm.
but they are watching this now. Thank you. So it's very key to have those people that just make you feel good about yourself or call you out when you're doing rubbish, because we also need
Mm.
those
Yes.
people in our lives. I wrote this down. I said, remember that your career journey is not a highway to hell, but a stairway to success. Yeah, so let's soak that in.
Yeah, let it sink.
So another question, moving on. I think I already asked that. If your parents pressured you, my parents pressure me, yes. Okay, so for this story,
Mm.
my first interest, I can remember going far back, was I wanted to be a pilot.
Really?
I wanted to be a pilot. And when I told my late grandma, she said over her dead body.
Uh-uh.
I mean, I know some of you are coming with some very dark jokes now she's dead, but like, just keep that to yourself. Well, yeah, she said over her dead body, I'll become a pilot. And I don't know,
What? Yes.
that just scared the hell out of me. And even now, I'm even driving, I'm over the best. But yeah, she said over her dead body, and I'm like, okay, that is done. But like, I didn't even think about it again. That
Mm,
was like the end of that dream.
mm,
And then the next thing, I can't remember, but I know I just feel I was brainwashed honestly into this medicine thing because as far back, besides the whole pilot thing, every other thing I can remember has always been medicine. Where did it come from? Someone was feeding this to me that you're going to be a great doctor. You know, people do that, parents do
yes,
that.
they
Ah,
do.
it's my daughter, you'll be a very good lawyer. And then you see it, yes, that go and find for
Mm,
yourself what you actually want to be. My dad was always keen on one of us being a lawyer. I don't know, lawyers have that thing.
I mean, oh, your father is a
Yeah,
lawyer.
my
I
dad
had
is a
no
lawyer.
idea.
My dad is a lawyer, and like I don't know whether I know it's not just me because I've actually taken a mini survey, and most
Yes.
of my friends are like their parents are lawyers. There's somebody in that household must become
Mm-hmm.
they feel is
It's very
necessary.
nice.
And I mean, law is a pretty cool profession. I won't mind having a lawyer in my family.
Mm.
But I mean, he tried with my sister. Huh? No, it did not work out. I mean, he promised her the world, like for her to do
Really?
law. And she was like, no, this is not for me. And then I don't think he tried with my brother. I think what he wanted my brother to do something techie. And then my brother was very stubborn. He went, he did his own thing.
Huh.
But like me already making my mind from little that I wanted to do medicine. Whether I
Medicine.
made up my mind, I don't know. Whether I was brainwashed, I don't know. But my mind was on medicine, and he wanted me to do tech, like maybe something into software
Software.
engineering,
Mm.
or that was what he wanted me to do. But I've always been a stubborn one, so I was like,
Mm.
medicine is a good one too. Now that was always my defense. Like
Yes.
medicine is one of the big four or big five, so it should be okay. That there's no other person is thinking of. I'm the
Yeah.
only science person in my family.
Really.
Like this immediate family, I'm the only person.
Mm.
Every other person arts commercial. I'm the only one. So I mean, it's okay.
Mm.
Until now, it's my younger sister that is the law. You have to do the law. I'm like, oh, good luck to her. I mean, she's still deciding. She's as stubborn as I am.
Really.
And then my younger brother, I mean, now there's still a lot of time for
Yeah.
whatever is going to happen to happen. So yeah, I think being the middle child, let's not even get into that. That one is an entirely whole episode, being the middle child. But they pressured me a bit. But I think my mom was fine with me, like medicine, like she was fine with that, always encouraging me and all. Maybe she was the one the one that brainwashed me. I don't know.
Mm.
I got a little pressure from my dad, but he gave it up. Or so I thought. Because this summer he brought it up
Mm.
again. But not like to change careers or
Yeah.
something, but he wanted me to go into like a tech school, do this and actually I actually tried. I interned at Huawei, like the
Yeah.
phone
I saw.
in one of their tech departments for like 3 weeks, and I hated it. Well, I'm actually glad I did it
So at least
because
now you're
now
sure
I'm sure that this tech life
it's not for
is
you.
not for me. It's still on this Huawei thing that I mentioned. I think don't shun on opportunities that will allow you to go out of your comfort zone. Like any opportunity you get to do something different, I think you
You
should
should
actually
always,
take it.
yeah.
Because I won't have known that I won't have confirmed that this wasn't for me if I didn't try and see for myself. So even if it involves you taking a career detour, if you think you have it all figured out, still,
Mm. Yeah.
branch
It's
it. You
never a
can.
bad idea.
Any final comments before we call this?
Final comment. Well, I don't know. I just feel like people should always be reminded to like take things one step at a time
Mm-hmm.
and like know that like your career, although it's a big
I
part
just
of
started
your
singing Johnny
life.
Sparks in my head. Oh, go on.
Yeah, your career is like it's a big part of your life, but it's not
Mm-hmm.
the entirety of who you are.
Yeah, definitely.
So like the fact that you don't have it all figured out now, like does not mean you should lose sleep over it. So like
Mm-hmm.
just I don't know. I keep saying calm down. Like there's no time, but there's time. You get
Calm down,
like
honestly.
just calm down
If you're fine being
and
a
like
sugar baby, I
I
mean,
mean, oh my god, that's one of my friends' dream career.
it's fulfilling that
So
lifestyle.
like yes, you're still a person. You deserve love, you
Mm-hmm.
deserve kindness and all of
Yeah,
that. And like yeah, let's just I think let's just try and be good people and be compassionate towards each
each
other
other.
and like just do our best. Like
Yeah.
just do like you know that oh like there's nothing else I would have possibly done
Mm-hmm.
that would change the results or that would make it any more different than it currently is. And like and just floats. Like I know, sorry, yeah, I keep saying that, but like yes, and like just I don't
Chase
know.
fulfillment. I think for me, if you chase fulfillment,
Yes, yes.
peace
Oh
of
my
mind
god,
will follow.
yes.
Like,
So far you're satisfied.
mm-hmm.
Like people, whatever the world, whatever your family, the world is even too far. Whatever the people around you are saying does not matter. So you're satisfied
Yeah,
and you're fulfilled, and
peace of
like
mind will
you feel
definitely
like
follow.
yeah, like you just be it, like you know.
Passion plus hard work with a sprinkle of faith will lead you to the career of your dreams.
How do you have all these bars? Like
You know,
I
like I
just showed
said,
off.
I like to write so I don't forget these things. Don't
Mm,
worry, when we get to where I want this podcast to be, this not to be displayed on the screen behind the camera, to have prompts and not be looking, oh, yeah, if you want to sponsor, please, you
I
know,
mean,
yeah, it won't
we
be
have
bad. It won't
potential.
be bad. There's a lot of potential here. We have, I believe we have the content like
Yes.
ready.
Yes.
It's just, this space would work for now, but when I go to school, what next? We'll go back to. So, anyways, thank you for listening to this episode. Like I said, we have so many other great episodes on Spotify,
Mm-hmm.
on Apple Music, all streaming podcast platforms. So, just some of them links to each other, like self discovery. You can listen to that, listen to this, attachment. There's so many great stuff. So just check it
Yeah.
out when you have
Please do.
the time, participate with the polls, just give us feedback, follow our social media as well,
Yeah.
like, subscribe,
FUTP.
yeah, all these things. If you want merch, I don't really sell them, but I mean, this won't be a bad idea. I made this one for myself, and then a couple of my friends said they wanted it,
Yes.
so I did tote bags, I did hoodies, just limited edition. So if
Have
you want
some of
that
that.
as well,
Mm-hmm.
you can do that as well. But yeah, subscribe, leave your reviews. It's going to be much appreciated.
And share. Yeah, very
Share this
important.
video if it meant something to you. For me, any other thing you want to say besides, bye bye.
Like, yeah, it
Sorry, I
was
didn't get
very lovely.
enough wine for you to
I
refill.
mean,
Because I didn't even take most of my water. Hmm.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you so much one more time for listening. And till next time. Bye. I don't think they saw my boots. Oh my gosh.
Mwah. I love you. Thank you
Bye.
for yeah for tuning in.
Sleep.
You did. He's hiring.